Hi, I'm Nancy Burwood from First Take, and today I want to talk about how you come in and how do you leave an audition room, because how you enter and how you exit actually have quite an impact on the impression that you make with casting directors when you're auditioning. It's kind of funny because we don't realize it, but casting directors, well, everybody judges very, very quickly. First impressions are made very, very quickly when you meet somebody. There's all these things that we take in, and casting directors actually, it even works faster when they meet somebody at how much they kind of assess you from the very, very get-go. So that's why walking in and leaving and how you do that can be a big deal. Also, when you're really comfortable with that, it sends the message to a casting director that, like, you're a professional, that you know what you're doing, that you've been doing this a long time. When you walk in confidently and comfortably, not arrogantly or anything else, but it sends the message that you're a pro. And I've seen some of our actors have booked their very first LA auditions, and part of it was they walked in as if they've been doing this all their life, even though they had never been in an audition room before. So it makes a big difference for sure. So, first of all, when you walk into a casting office, it depends as far as your scene goes. If you have a scene that's kind of light and not super heavy-duty emotionally, then definitely you want to just come in and be warm, friendly, comfortable, not haughty or arrogant, but just have a humility but a warmth about you when you come in, to smile, say hello. But you don't want to be super chatty because they just don't have time. Casting directors are on an incredibly tight time schedule, especially for television. The television casting directors can be casting 30 roles in a period of 8 days, so their schedules are really tight and very intense, and so they're kind of go, 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 etc. So if you go in there and just start chatting them up or that kind of thing, it also sends the message that you're not aware of their their time schedule and how it works and the pressure that they're under. So you want to be warm and friendly. Obviously, if they ask you questions, you want to respond, but keep it warm but brief. Don't go on and on and off. And they ask you how your day was. It's not, well, I took the dog to the park and then this and etc. The other thing that you don't want to do is make excuses of any kind, whether you're late, etc. That's the last thing that you want to do, is say things like, oh, I was late, the traffic. Well, if you're in LA, there's always going to be traffic, so you need to plan ahead for that, expecting it. But to come in with a super positive attitude. Now, also, when you come in, if there's any question as far as who your reader is, the person reading the other lines of dialogue, you might want to ask, just that you don't set yourself up where you start reading with somebody and then it turns out to be this person and you're startled and switch gears like that. You also want to be very careful on the scenes where they say start and where they say end. Most sides, they're called, are very, very clearly marked. And so usually they'll put start if they want you to include some physical activity or some business or the other person's lines. They'll put start and end very precisely. If they end the scene, for instance, after the reader's line, that means that it's important for you to be prepared to respond to that and to not just check out after your last line of dialogue. That's very important, to be in the scene at the beginning and to be at the scene at the very end. As a matter of fact, after the scene is over, the reader says their line, you should stay in the scene even for a few seconds afterwards. Stay connected, stay engaged, because they tape these and the decisions are made from tape. So you want to make sure that they can edit and cut it out, and it's not like you say your last line, I was always thinking that way, but bye, and just sort of check out and, etc. So stay in the scene after the last line, and then count like 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, thank you, and then exit. So that's a good way as far as timing goes. When you exit, again, you want to be friendly, break out of the scene, and walk out quickly. You don't want to make faces like, oh, that was terrible. Or you don't want to be looking at them like, how did I do? You know, like longingly, like a sad little puppy face or something like that. Or walk out slowly kind of looking, you know, to see if they liked you or not. You want to just say thank you and walk out quickly. Don't do things like ask, are there callbacks? Are you calling me back? Things like that that would make them uncomfortable and put pressure on them are definitely not, you know, a good plan as far as exiting goes. One last thing as far as entering goes is if you have a heavy duty scene or an angry scene, something that's got a lot of intense emotional stuff in it, what you want to do is do all of your preparation outside. Don't come in and go, I've got to prepare. You know, they don't like that, and it wastes their time. So prepare outside of the room and then come in ready to go. If it's like a big emotional scene, you don't want to come in like crying, but what you can do is come in kind of neutral, and so that you don't throw yourself out of the scene. You don't want a scene where your baby died and you're like sobbing, but you walk in right before you start and you go, hi, like that, and then somehow you're going to get yourself connected to this emotional place where you're ready to cry. You know, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice to throw yourself out. So a way to do it that you come in where you're being nice, but is kind of neutral, where it's heavy and you come in and say, hi, I'm ready to do the scene. You know, kind of, do you see what I'm saying? Like kind of neutral. And then you can be super friendly after the scene. After you break out, you can say thank you and, you know, be your warm, friendly self. You don't want to come in angry, even if it's an angry scene, you know, like I'm in character, you know, like people think you're going to punch them or something like that is also not a good way to come into the scene. Still come in neutral and then be ready to go. So those are just a few things about how to walk into a room and how to walk out of a room that can set you up for success and make you look like a pro, even if it's your very first time. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Spread the love a little bit. And you can check out our other videos on YouTube or on our website, firsttake.org. There's some great information there as well.